Welcome back to another episode of Chicago Brewed Sports. As always, we're joined by Brandon Nordley to my left, and to my right is Joe Klatt. As for myself, my name is Andrew Nordley. A podcast
for the fans, by the fans.
So tell me, gentlemen, how are we feeling about the podcast tonight?
Secret Bagent Man. Secret Bagent Man. Secret Bagent Man.
That's kind of how we're feeling.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I'm feeling. Right?
Yeah, pretty
Song's
excited
been playing in
tonight.
my head ever since Sunday.
So regardless, we got that out of the way, Joe. Let's start us off with some Chicago Bears talk.
Yeah, since we
Hold on a minute. Oh, we've got something we got to do first. What were the predictions last week for the Bears and Raiders game?
I know I won.
Yeah, very well.
28-17.
Hate to break it to you, but Andrew, you lost last week. Your first loss.
I
That
did.
means you're taking a shot of Malort right now.
Yeah, first loss of the history of this podcast. So I take great pride in that. I'm still in the lead. All right, but let's just get this over with.
We're all gonna enjoy this together because
Yeah,
out of the three of us, this guy hates.
I
Malort.
want to disclose something. I absolutely, utterly hate Malort with a burning passion. So
And he's from Chicago, and he's saying that.
We'll see.
With passion, he's saying
I mean, it's valid.
We'll
It's
see
not
how
the
this-
greatest.
Come on, rim it, dude.
I'm not rimming shit, dude. I didn't rim it for either.
Oh, that's a good shot. That's a good size.
I'm definitely not stalling right now, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
No.
So you're chasing with the mystery beer that we'll reveal later.
You know what? I'm actually I'm gonna straight fucking strong arm this thing, no chaser, and prove a point.
Oof.
No. All right.
Bucket ready, buddy.
Oh, there's not a shot.
Dude, it's not that bad.
Salute.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Dude, the more and more you do it, the more and more you like it. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like a known thing. It's like a thing with Malort. See, it's not that bad,
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty bad.
Oh, come on.
He handled it better than I thought he would, but he's
Yeah.
dying internally. Is that right? Okay.
Oh, it seems like it went down pretty smooth, or you handled yourself well. Normally you make that weird.
Yeah,
little
I was
early.
expecting you to run somewhere, but
I mean, the worst thing about it is, and I'm still hiding my feelings right now. To be honest, the taste doesn't go away. Like I literally feel as if I still have the Malort in my mouth and I haven't swallowed it yet. So
Take a sip of beer, rinse it down.
For sure.
It's been long enough. It's not considered a chaser anymore.
Right.
good
But,
man. Respect.
But that was awful.
I feel like Andrew's next score prediction. You know, your score prediction was pretty conservative.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's gonna be really conservative.
Oh,
You know what we should
it will
do this
be,
week?
it will be.
And I'm throwing myself under the bus. I'm an honest person. I feel like I've somewhat had the advantage the last 2 weeks because I go last and I can kind of base my decision off of you guys. So if you want,
I predict mine ahead of time, but yeah, that's fine.
I'll go first. That's fair. I kind of do it. I kind of do it on a dime.
Yeah, I do it.
I'll do the prediction first, and then we'll go this way. I'll go first this week. All right.
That sounds good.
All right, Joe. Start us off with the Bears or whatever you got.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we
Start
kind
us
of
off, Joey.
So we kind of already started talking about the Bears with the Tyson Bagent Secret Bagent Man song. I mean, there's a lot of good, like, I should have wrote down some of them that I heard, but one of them, my favorite is the Secret Bagent Man. The other one I heard, because, he went to he went to Shepherd University, so everyone's calling him the Good Shepherd,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. I like that, too. It's better than, I think Justin Fields had JF1 and Soldier Fields, which Soldier Fields is kind of cool, but I really like Secret Bagent Man a lot more than Soldier Fields. So I want to start off by saying that Tyson Bagent, I can't say that I told you so, but I told you so. He won the game. He was close to my score prediction. I said that he threw 2 to 3 touchdowns. He only threw 1 touchdown. And Deontay Foreman, man, what a beast, monster that man is, dude. Running it in there twice for 2 touchdowns, man, was that incredible.
Joe, I'm gonna ask you right away. Do we have an injury update on Deontay Foreman? Because I know he got banged up at the end of the game.
As of right now, I think it's kind of day to day
Up in the air.
Well, he's questionable, but it sounds like it's promising that he's going to start on. Well, I mean, by then too, I think I think Khalil Herbert's going to be back. I think Roshan Johnson's going to be back too. And it kind of sucks because Deontay Foreman had such an incredible game, and I feel kind of bad for Deontay Foreman. I feel like he's kind of left in the shadows. I mean, we all saw what he did when Christian McCaffrey was traded with the Panthers. He came in, played 11 games, ran for over 900 yards. I mean, he's a good player. He's definitely a starting caliber, for sure, a backup, like RB2, 100%. If not an RB2, I think he's definitely a caliber starter. And I've said this from the beginning, that we have the three-headed monster on the Bears with running backs, with Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert, or Khalil Mack. Just kidding.
Khalil Mack. I know,
But
dude.
Khalil
I'm not gonna
Herbert.
lie. I almost said it again earlier. I just something about Khalil Mack. I guess
No, but I think
So-
I think we have all our running backs back.
So
Yeah.
Joe, with
Yeah.
with Deontay Foreman
Yeah.
going down, when is a timeable return for our actual RB1 and RB2?
I think that this up and coming game against the Chargers. I mean, I think they had us at Vegas had us at like -8, which I was surprised to
Yeah.
see, considering that their defense is terrible. The Chargers
And also
defense.
considering that they also were throwing out a second string
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback
Justin
as well.
Herbert's been struggling.
Yeah.
And we like our teams that during that game, our team's probably gonna be the healthiest it's ever been since like the start. So yeah, I was kind of surprised to see
Yeah,
that.
that's rough. That's rough. Starting Brian.
The only
Hoyer.
one that we don't like
Not
really,
really.
is Justin Fields, unfortunately. But I think I forgot his name, our left tackle, he is still out for injury. So Larry Borum has been playing in his place, but I don't think he's back yet. But either way, I'm excited for the Chargers game. I wish that they would unleash Bagent a little bit more. I mean, I think that they kind of restricted him a little bit, but he was able to do everything that the coaches asked. He was doing his checkdowns. Everyone was saying that he didn't throw for more than 15 yards, like his passes. And I wish they'd give the guy a chance, because there was scouting reports that said he had a beautiful deep ball. And everyone keeps resorting back to that one play against the Vikings where he threw it to DJ Moore and it was 15 yards short, but he had a defender in his face and he just got rid of the ball. I mean, you can't just go off that one play. I mean, he didn't throw his full strength into that ball. So I think it's kind of shitty that people are saying that this guy can't throw down deep. And then they had Nathan Peterman come in, and we all saw what Nathan Peterman did. He didn't even throw the ball. He threw the ball and went nowhere. So it's like, I don't know, then it kind of ruins Tyson Bagent's confidence. It's like, you're literally by doing that, you're telling Tyson Bagent that you don't have a strong arm.
Well,
And I think that's bullshit.
Joe, I would have rather seen Tyson Bagent go deep in the game against
Yeah,
the
but see, he
Raiders.
can throw
Raiders, because I would want it, because the Raiders are not a good defense. I think they're ranked 19 or the 19th
Well, 19,
ranked defense
yeah, but they got
in
Max
all
Crosby.
football.
They got Max Crosby, though.
I mean,
Gotta disrupt
but he's on the D line.
No, I know.
But nonetheless, I would rather see Bagent, throw those deep balls against the poor.
I actually didn't have an issue with Bagent. I think I saw him convert on third down, throw a couple medium passes on third down to convert, and like you said, Joe, I think he was throwing like missile dimes, like at the line of scrimmage, and then letting his receivers like DJ Moore run for 40 yards up the field. If that works, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If that's gonna work, I don't, any day of the week, just continue to do that. So we'll see progression. It was one game. I think that the Chargers game, for me, is going to be a true statement game. If Tyson Bagent can go into LA against Justin Herbert and be successful against that defense as well, I think that for me will work
and Bosa,
with that defense.
Well, they got a great D line,
That
though.
for me will be a huge accomplishment.
Well, we'll
for
see
this
what
game.
happens.
Yeah,
And,
Bosa
now there's
back.
film out on Bagent, and everyone's saying, okay, well, they're going to prevent him from doing screen passes, and they're going to make him throw. And I think that's what Bagent wants. He wants to show people that he could throw down to midfield to farther. And good, let the guy do it. I mean, he has all the features on him, man. He's not a little dude. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. You could just see he has some muscle definition on him. I mean, he's not a little twerp. So he could definitely, I feel like, could throw the ball down the field if he has to.
That'd be quite the story if Bagent could go into his second start of his entire career, go 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Against a team like the Chargers, who, yes, they have been struggling as of late, but they're still, I would say, a pretty darn good team.
So, another thing that I saw that Bagent was doing, dude, he was doing no-look passes. So his receiver, he would see where his receiver was running, and he would look like to the left, and he would throw the ball. You know who I see doing that? Like, there's only elite quarterbacks that can do
Rodgers
that.
and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are known. That's their signature move. They look the opposite way and throw the ball, and Bagent was doing that crap, man.
Yep.
He was throwing. He was doing this. People like, oh well, you know, he just throws. He knows who he's throwing it to. I'm like, no, dude, watch him play. You could see him reading his checkdowns and doing checkdowns. He was reading defenses. He was calling out He was calling out zone coverages. I mean, stuff that you don't see Fields doing.
Yeah, and since we're comparing the two of them, I think the main difference between the two of them is, I mean, again, right? It's all early, and there's not a huge sample size of information to look at. But Bagent looked poised the entire game.
That's what everyone's saying about him.
If he had a 3-and-out, or if there was whatever the case is, I mean, he looked poised the whole game. You know, Justin Fields looks like he wants to cry all the time. So we'll see. I mean, we have to see Bagent in the, you know, face adversity and then kind of see how he reacts to it.
Yeah.
But he looked like an absolute star last week.
So some of the this is like professional athletes and some professional sports analysts. They're saying that this is what Dan Hampton had to say. He's a former D tackle for the Bears, played on the '85 Bears as a defensive lineman. He said that he's pushing for Bagent to be the starter. Tim Jenkins, a former NFL QB, he breaks down all 22s. You could go watch him on YouTube. He has some great breakdowns of all 22s, which it's cool to see like an actual NFL quarterback be able to break down performances. And he was impressed with Bagent's performance and ability to adjust the defenses. That's what he had to say. Colin Cowherd was impressed with Bagent's ability to move the ball down the field. So he also said this about Justin Fields, that Justin Fields can't do simple throws, and he compared Justin Fields to Sam Darnold, which is not really a good comparison. Like basically he also said, like, I'm paraphrasing here, that they have all the features on them. Like, you know, they're literally like they're built like, you know, a Corvette or a Ferrari, but it's like they can't go past, like, you know, 20 miles per hour. And
so this is a question for the room. What do we do with Justin Fields if Bagent is named the #1 starter?
Trade him.
I think that Fields is not going to. You know what? It's hard to say. I
already confirmed he's starting next.
I think it depends on how Fields reacts to it. I think if Fields is upset with this information, I feel like it's going to leak. It's going to come out. He might even say it in a press conference. If that happens, he gets traded.
Okay.
Otherwise, but there's a world where I could see Fields being okay with and kind of rooting on Bagent. You know, there were a couple photos that I saw of Fields looking super excited when Bagent did successful in that game. So
he's just trying to be relevant.
Yeah, he's trying to, you
know.
With
that being said, I also feel as if that also goes to show he's a good teammate, and that would also make his trade value a little bit more.
Well, we said it a couple weeks ago. Can you imagine Fields as a backup? That would be awesome. You know, from a skill perspective.
Well, it seems like
not from a leadership.
From a skill
perspective.
perspective, it would be awesome, but I would imagine Justin Fields would not want to be a backup quarterback, and he'd go to a team that needs a quarterback, and sort of like Baker Mayfield, you know. He'll jump to team getting his shot, but
you know, I think at this point it's a prove it, get the job done league, and I think if Bagent is doing well, he's going to keep the job. It's that simple.
I have a lot of good information on Fields that you guys would be kind of surprised, that I was actually surprised from. That we'll get into.
Good as in like sarcastic.
Good. I mean, it's actually a lot of. It's good for Bagent. But
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Bagent. This doesn't sound real flashy. I think he has, like, right now he has the lowest, like, air yards per attempt in the NFL right now. He had 2.1. But you know what? He made a lot of good completions and he won the game. So I don't really give a shit how low their completions were. If he won the game, what does it matter? His QBR rating was 97.2. I think, obviously I think it's graded from a 0, so 97.2 is actually very good. So had 21 29 passing attempts, 21 were completed, 162 passing yards, 24 rushing yards. He did what was asked of him by the coaches, was able to adjust to defensive plays, was calling out can and zone coverages. I kind of mentioned that before. So that's really the last bit of notes that I had written down for Bagent. But man, I really think this guy is something special. I think it would be a huge mistake if we don't continue to start Bagent moving forward and finish out the year with Bagent. I will get into why I don't think Fields should start anymore. You guys just want to jump right to Justin Fields?
No, I actually have a question.
Sure.
So, at Bagent, our number one QB,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think he's going to fare against solid teams?
Well,
against good defenses.
Well, we know how Justin Fields
because he did go up against the Raiders. The Raiders aren't that good of a team. Do you think?
Yeah, but they have a pretty solid defense.
Ranked number 19. Is that solid?
Well, I think overall it's ranked 19th, but they do have one of the best edge rushers in the league.
So personally, for me, I guess I'm a believer in Bagent, and I want to see the kid succeed. Obviously, I'm a Bears fan, but I need to see him go up against some solid teams before I really make on overall whatever on how good he is.
Well, you could say that about the Lions too. Who have the Lions played that were really that great of a team? No one. I mean, and the only reason they beat the Chiefs was
I was about to say they beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
They did.
That was week
But
one.
we didn't have Travis Kelce, or the Chiefs. I shouldn't say we. The Chiefs didn't have Travis Kelce, and they didn't have Chris Jones in. The two best players on the team were out, and we all saw Kadarius Toney flopping balls up in the air for pick sixes and running it back. So I mean, the receivers lost that game for the Chiefs, and that was the first game. I mean, you're telling me that if Chris Jones wasn't in there or Travis Kelce, they would have still won?
I'm sure it would have been
Well,
a different story.
In your defense,
but
Joe.
nonetheless,
In your defense, Joe. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens destroyed the Lions this week. Baltimore Ravens are a good team. Something to consider.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean,
that proves my point. It exposed the Lions. is what I'm
I
getting
mean,
at.
look, if you're playing Mahomes, I don't care if you're down guys. I mean, you're playing Mahomes. Mahomes is a guy that knows how to get it done. So either way, you got to give Detroit opening night against KC. They get a win. I give them props.
But I
for that.
agree, Andrew. They do need, for Bagent to be considered good, they have to play an elite team. And if they beat an elite team, I mean, yeah, that
Yeah, I
would
said that earlier.
Yes,
Like the
100%.
Raiders weren't a real test.
yes.
The Chargers
Yes.
will be though.
100%.
That's all it is.
100% on Sunday. The
Yeah.
Bears against the Chargers. Bagent against the Chargers.
Sunday night.
That is
Prime
gonna
time.
truly
Sunday night.
prove whether
So-
or not
so what-
Bagent to me is a service.
So what's so impressive to me about Bagent is that this guy got no credit because he came from a Division II NFL or Division II NCAA.
I mean,
team.
well, for sure, his story is absolutely insane.
And-
he gambled on himself, and it really worked out for him.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think that politics are kind of getting involved in the sense that people think that if you play for a Division II NCAA team that you're no good. You're automatically considered not good, which clearly is not the case here. I mean, Kurt Warner, I believe, played for the Canadian team, and look how great Kurt Warner was. So it's like there's hidden talent, and politics plays some effect, and I think that Tyson Bagent, is proving to us that he could be definitely a caliber number one. Everyone's like, oh, he's a solid backup, dude. Solid backup. What is Justin Fields done? This is what I'll tell you. In the last 14 games, Justin Fields is 1-13. In his NFL career for the Bears, he's 6-25. You want to know something else about Fields? How many times do you think Justin Fields has been injured?
multiple times.
4 times. 4 times he's been injured because he likes to run with the ball. So
That was a cold victory by Fields, though. I'll
Once-
never forget that picture of them in the
Oh,
sliding
yeah,
in
yeah.
the rain.
yeah, who cares? Once in 2021, Week 11, he cracked his ribs. He missed 2 games. The second time, in Week 16, the same year, 2021, he had an ankle injury. He missed 3 games. Week 18 of 2022, he missed the game from a hip injury. And now in 2023, he's out for 2 weeks for a dislocated thumb. You want to know what Fields' QBR rating overall is? 39.3. So get this.
Atrocious.
If a quarterback takes every snap, drops back, and throws it into the ground in every play, that equates to a QBR of 39. Justin Fields' QBR rating right now is 39.3. He also, right now, this season, he has 6 interceptions, 11 touchdowns, which, yeah, that's not bad, but a lot of that is his receivers running it in, or, you know, and then 1,200 passing yards, just, you know.
Well,
To me, so he gets injured a lot, he has a horrible quarterback rating, he has a hard time reading defenses. Like, what are we wasting our time with? How is this not convincing enough?
all I can say to you, Joe and Andrew, is that we need to look towards the future.
Thank
we got to
you,
try
I
to be
know.
optimistic. And look, at this
What are
point,
we waiting for?
I've said it.
you know,
I said
with
it
Fields?
from the first 4 or 5 weeks. I explained to all of you guys, including our audience, how I would defend Justin Fields. I think it was last week when I said I'm done with Justin Fields. I've seen enough. I'm done. But what I will say, what I will say is that I'll be the optimistic fan, right? What did we get for Justin Fields being atrocious? We got DJ Moore. We got Carolina's #1 overall pick. Him being atrocious meant we had to get someone as a backup this year, and now he's getting some reps, and we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to the draft. Hopefully Bagent is good so that we don't have to draft a
Can you imagine
quarterback.
that? We get 2 first-round
Right.
picks. We could get an edge rusher.
Imagine
and probably a
not
center.
having
That's
to
what we
waste
need,
it
an edge
on
runner
a
and a
quarterback.
center.
Yep. Imagine not having to waste one of those picks on a quarterback. We have 2 top-of-the-line first-round
I would
picks.
say
next
an
year.
edge rusher and a center, or if not a center, then definitely a wide receiver maybe. They keep talking about that one
Yeah.
guy. But
Edge rusher, 100%.
Yeah.
I think the Bears get the best edge rusher in the draft,
That'd be
and I
nice.
think the Bears potentially go for another O-lineman.
Yeah, their secondary is solid. Their linebackers are solid.
Our
so, yeah,
secondary
that's all
solid.
we
I
need.
mean, Jalen Johnson. Shout out to him.
Top 10.
Absolute beast. Last week he was a beast. I'll give him that at least. But Joe, I do have Andrew and Joe.
Pick 6.
I do have a little bit of something I want to discuss here,
Sure.
since we're on the topic of like skilled position players. Some statistics regarding Chase Claypool, and again, I don't want to linger, but this is worth bringing up. Since trading Chase Claypool, the Bears are 2-1, and they were 0-13 with him. Right? The Dolphins, who were 5-1 before activating him, are now 0-1 since activating him.
That's so funny.
On top of that, the Steelers were 2-6 with him and are now currently 11-4 since trading him.
That's so.
So I'll ask you, Andrew, does this
Claypool
mean
hurts, man.
that he is a human vending machine?
He gets paid to drop.
So
things.
I think 100% he is a total cancer in the clubhouse, and that
Yeah.
definitely affects everyone mentally,
Tyreek Hill got hurt.
physically, and stuff like that. And Tyreek Hill said himself he's
Like-
he runs like a vending machine, so he would know more than everyone else.
All right,
You know, he plays
I'm going to
with
say Andrew first, then Joe. If Chase Claypool is a vending machine, what item is he dropping?
That's a good.
He's
question.
probably dropping those like shitty barbecue chips. Yeah. Those shitty
Those
barbecue
Vintners,
chips that
the Vintners, yeah.
that no one wants.
Yeah,
Joe?
I want to say he's dropping that.
I need a different answer.
The big gum, you know, like the 59 cents. Like
Oh,
no one really. That's all you have.
The
so
one
that's-
that lasts 15 seconds?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
That's
the
all.
one that's also hard as a rock.
Yeah, the
Coming
only
out of it.
change you have in your pocket, and it's like, oh, well, I guess I can get the little 2-pack of gum.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, but just a truly worthless player in the NFL. You know, I hope teams pick up on him and just release him, and he's done.
Yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
bust move by Ryan Poles.
But you can't dwell on the past. You got to look forward into the future. You
I
know?
think Chase Claypool has
like
some-
every team makes.
he's
bad
never
trades.
been in a good situation.
Oh,
Like,
But no,
I
but
feel like
okay,
he
no,
has-
no,
he had
listen. No.
He's
That's
had
a
an old
ridiculous
listen,
comment.
he's had an old ass Roethlisberger. Then he came to this shit organization, the Bears. Excuse me, Chicago. I'm
Mike
sorry,
Tomlin
but
knew.
What are
Then-
the chances someone is a part of 3 organizations that are fucking dog shit? Blah blah blah, and it's not his fault.
Yeah, what about
it's
the
the organization's
Dolphins?
fault.
You can't say anything about that.
yeah, but I mean,
Every
he played one
organization
game.
he's been to is losing,
Because they
and every organization where he leaves is winning.
In all fairness,
It is a curse.
the Dolphins.
I mean,
did
that's
play,
red flags.
In all fairness, the Dolphins did play the Eagles. You know,
Doesn't matter though. The
We're having
Dolphins-
fun. We're having fun.
Yeah, the Dolphins though
I
are
think Chase
supposedly a
Claypool
freaking elite team.
has proven that he's not.
Yeah, if you play two
helping,
elite
but-
teams. And I think the Dolphin. I mean, I think, dude. It
I just
looks
think
like,
he's a moron.
It looks like the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Out of all the teams now, that like the 49ers lost to the Vikings.
All right, guys. I have a couple more things that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
He's just a moron.
We're gonna have some more fun here. All right.
Chase Claypool.
Breaking
Fuck
news.
you, dude.
Holy shit! Wow. Breaking news. Bill Belichick with his 300th career coaching win on Sunday. Congratulations to Bill Belichick, baby.
I think he still should have retired after Brady, but still.
So listen.
Great job.
So my question to both you guys, and give me a moment, is Bill Belichick the greatest coach of all time, or is he the greatest cheerleader of all time? The reason I say that, and I want to compare Bill Belichick, his success with and without Brady, to Andy Reid's success with and without Mahomes. Andy Reid, head coach of the Philadelphia Phillies. As we all know, Philadelphia Phillies in that time frame.
Eagles.
Yeah, I was gonna
Excuse
say,
me. Philadelphia Eagles had Mike Vick for a couple years. They also had big old Donovan McNabb. They never went anywhere with Andy Reid in the coaching position there.
They didn't make the Super Bowl.
They may have made the Super Bowl, I believe, maybe one time.
They did.
I do
Yeah,
believe
they
they did
definitely
one
did.
time, but
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
definitely
win.
They did not win.
So my question is that a coincidence that both of these coaches, who are considered the greatest of all time, damn near, are now have been very dependent in their respective careers based on the success of their quarterback? Now, with that being said, does that make the head coach position kind of seem obsolete to you guys, considering that the quarterback really is generating these victories, in my opinion?
I think 100%. I think 100% that is
Good
the
question,
case.
O'Brien.
Yes, that is a very good question. Bill Belichick should have retired after Brady. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter, how good people think you are. If you simply, you can have all the mental knowledge, you can have all the, crafts of the game, you can call the right plays, but if you don't have the right players on your team, you're not going to win anything. So yeah, I think the head coach position is obsolete, and I think Andy Reid got lucky with Patrick Mahomes, like how you said. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's like, how is that?
And
That can't be a coincidence, right?
and like I said, 100% hats off to Bill Belichick for his career. 300 wins is ridiculous, but without Brady, you wouldn't have been anything. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, so, Brandon, to answer your question, I want to start off by saying that I think that the quarterback position is the most important position in football. The second most important position is the offensive line to protect the quarterback. The third most important position in football is either the edge rushers or defensive line, because they put pressure on the quarterback. So yes, the quarterback is the most important position in football. And I think that I don't think Bill Belichick necessarily was a bad coach, but I think that quarterbacks carry a lot of these coaches. For example, Matt LaFleur with Aaron Rodgers. We all saw what Aaron Rodgers did with the Packers to the Bears. Unfortunately, we were almost. I think we won like 3 games total against Aaron Rodgers in our entire 2 decades of playing against him. So, as soon as we still lost to them against Jordan Love. It's just like we're cursed. But anyways, my point is
Hey,
is
fuck
that
Green Bay.
FGB baby. Anyways, my point is that I think coaches carry. I think quarterbacks carry the coaches sometimes, 100%. But I think you need both. I think Bill Belichick, dude, you don't win 6 Super Bowls and you're considered a bad coach. But I do agree somewhat to what Andrew's saying, that yes, he did ride the back a little bit of Tom Brady, because Tom Brady was the greatest quarterback of all time. So yes, but you still need to make. Bill Belichick still made decisions as the coach on the sideline. He had to manage the clock, do all that crap. So yeah, he's not a bad coach. But do I think that Tom Brady made him look better than what he was? 100%. Absolutely. Do I think Patrick Mahomes made Andy Reid look better than what he was? 100%, absolutely. Same with every quarterback. So yes.
And just to add on to that real quick, and I can even take
Dude,
this
what-
a step further. One moment. I could take this a step further. You could argue that they were just flat out very lucky. The reason I say that
I don't know about
is
that.
the reason I say that is because what is the correlation between, yes, that's what I was going to say, bro. What is the correlation between Gronkowski Brady and Kelsey Mahomes?
Good
We were
chemistry.
thinking the same thing.
Good chemistry.
Good chemistry. No, but
But
they're elite
easily
tight ends.
They're,
So
they're two
not
of the best duos in
listen.
NFL history.
Not only did Reid and Belichick have the two potential greatest quarterbacks of all time, they also had potentially the two greatest tight ends of all time for their quarterbacks to work with. So when you consider that, and then you're in a coaching position and you're in a position where you are able to like get the fruits of that labor of having that skill and those players on your team, again, how much of that goes into just luck, just being in the right place at the right time and becoming successful from it? Look, I'm not saying Andy Reid's an idiot. I'm not saying Bill Belichick isn't a football guru. They are. They know way more than all of us, any of us. But you can be a fucking genius. You can be like John Gruden. But how did that experiment play out, right? He went to the Raiders. He had Derek Carr's sorry ass as his quarterback. Didn't work out. And then we all know what happened with him. But yeah, the Raiders are still struggling. So I think there's a huge correlation between having a successful quarterback, potential tight end duo, right, with that. Or you can make an argument about defenses being absolutely phenomenal in carrying a team, like the Broncos in 2012 against the Panthers when they had Peyton Manning. You know, Peyton Manning wasn't that good, and the defense carried it. So I think that
Well, Peyton Manning.
yeah, he wasn't that good that year though. But
He's an old.
either way, I think that coaches really are almost at this point in time like glorified cheerleaders. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to say.
Yes, they are there to answer questions for the media. They're there to keep the clubhouse in check.
Well, they call the plays, too.
But why is there a defensive coordinator? Why is there an offensive coordinator then? You know, what's the point?
Well, the reason why there's.
What's the point? They are, like Brandon
Well, it's
said,
like
I
this-
agree, they're
so-
glorified cheerleaders.
stuff that-
They keep the media in check and they keep the players in check, and that's pretty much
Well,
all
it
they do.
depends on if.
Joe Torre, quote unquote, greatest manager of all time in baseball. Look at the team. Look at the team he managed. The Yankees, the dynasty Yankees, with how many Hall of Famers on that freaking team? Anybody could have managed that team.
Yep.
Anybody could.
I agree.
I could have been 12 years old. I could have put in the right players on that team. It's just like, if you got the players, you got the players.
What about Brian Dable last year with the Giants?
Fluke year, man. It happens. I mean, who would have
I mean,
thought the
I know not
Arizona
to-
Diamondbacks were going to
Yeah,
make the
no.
World Series?
I say
this
that all
year?
the time.
Like, come
Yeah,
on,
it's pretty
don't
crazy.
sit here and tell me that Andy Reid played a part in the Chiefs being successful when they had Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
Honey Badger,
Come on.
a dominant defense. Come on now.
Well, their
Come on.
defense has always been.
Dude,
kinda-
put Matt Eberflus on that freaking Kansas City Chiefs team. He'll do fine.
Well, Matt Nagy's.
Look, Matt
Yeah.
Nagy came to. I mean, it was a different position,
He's
but
probably gonna get hired
Matt
as a
Nagy
coach.
is on
Yeah.
the. Matt Nagy is a great example. He's on Kansas City. Oh my God, Matt Nagy, the offensive coordinator of this amazing offense, goes to the Bears, sucks.
I'll take
Because
Matt
the
Nagy right now,
because the
though,
Bears
over
suck,
Matt Eberflus.
and then
Please
goes
do.
back to Kansas City,
Come on,
and he's good again.
Brandon.
Why? Because he went back to the good team.
Brandon.
Yeah,
would you
because
not?
he has good players.
Brandon, would you not take Matt Nagy right now over Matt Eberflus?
I would. I probably would.
I
I
know.
probably would.
I mean, Brian Urlacher, I think I mentioned this on
And
the
that-
last podcast.
yeah.
He said that we got rid of a coach that brought us to the playoffs twice and won rookie coach of the year.
Yeah.
We got rid
And
of
who was
him.
also 34 and 31 in his.
I have one more.
with the
I have
Bears.
another question
Yeah,
for you
but better
boys.
than
I want to move on from
Well,
this.
of course, he's actually had a winning record.
I'm going to move on from this, gentlemen. Next question I have. I know I prefaced it earlier.
That was a good question.
Excuse me. Detroit lost badly to Baltimore, 38-6, something wild. Fun fact:
That's goof.
David Montgomery, who, as we all know, has been carrying that offense. I mean, Goff has played very well. I'm not taking that away, but David Montgomery has played out of his mind. there was obviously extra focus on Jared Goff with Montgomery being injured, being out for the game. How much, I'll start with, this time I'll go with Joe to Andrew. Joe, how important is the run game? What does that do for a football team within the 60 minutes of a game?
Well, I think it's extremely important to have a good run game. And I think the biggest reason why it is important to have a good run game is because it takes huge pressure off the quarterback. Let's say you need to get 3-4 yards and you have a reliable running back that you know that's averaging you 6 to 7. Like Adrian Peterson, I think he averaged 8 yards a carry. Just think about that. Like it's third down, 3rd and 8, and you need to get 8 yards, and you're not doing shit for passing. And usually people throw when it's 3rd and long. But if you have a reliable running back like someone like Adrian Peterson, yeah, he averages 8 yards per carry. Someone like Christian McCaffrey that averages 8 yards per carry. Yeah, it's like, okay, here you go. Got my first down. So, yeah, it takes a huge pressure off the quarterback. Once you get a rhythm going, too, with the running game, you start getting the passing game going as well. So if that answers you, I think it's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, obviously, no reason to beat a dead bush. I agree with Joe 100%. It basically sets up the receivers and the quarterback. So, yeah, it's very important.
I mean, look at Jim McMahon with Walter Payton. Everyone praises how Jim McMahon, the punky QB, was like this legend Bears. I mean, the Bears never had a quarterback, first off. But Walter Payton was a huge relief, and their Bears defense. So a good defense and a good run game takes a huge relief off the quarterback.
Not a good, an elite run game.
Yeah, well,
the greatest running back.
The only
in history.
excuse that it doesn't is like Patrick Mahomes, man. He doesn't really have they don't have a really great running game, and they don't have. I mean, they have a pretty.
Because they don't need to. They have Travis Kelce having over 150 receiving yards a game.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that's like the one example where you.
Who cares about a running back at that point when your tight end is doing that?
In all fairness, I mean the league is changing. A lot of these running backs are the running game.
He's getting more injury.
Mahomes can still run the ball. I've seen him do it this year.
He can do everything, that guy. Man.
So, like, even if you're not running the rock that well with the running back, if the front seven has to always be on their tiptoes about the quarterback scrambling, even that's going to get your wide receivers open. You're going to have a spy, maybe 2 spies, whatever you're going to do. You're going to play to his strength of being able to run the ball. So, absolutely, I think once you, I think you need to. You need to solidify the run game to open up the pass game. I think that's what happens. I think the run game needs to be solidified for the pass game to work. So.
Very,
100%.
very true. Very true. We are all in agreement on that. Definitely.
Yeah. So we kind of talked a little bit about. Do you have any more questions, Brandon?
No.
Those were good questions.
Yeah, those are very good questions.
That was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah.
I just want to
Good
finish
responses,
with,
boys.
we talked a little bit about Deontay Foreman. 16 carries for 89 yards. Man, if you had this guy in fantasy football starting, you probably won. So 2 touchdowns. Good job, Deontay Foreman. He did his job. In my opinion, he should be either a starter or a backup. I mean, he did a really good job. DJ Moore, 8 receptions, 54 yards. So DJ Moore did a really good job. I mean, we didn't have him go deep at all, which is unfortunate. I'd like to see him get, some more midfield to farther passes.
And I think as Bears fans and just football fans in general, like, put some respect on DJ Moore's name. Everyone obviously has respect on his name, but talk about just a solid player and just a solid teammate. He always has nothing but good stuff to say about his teammates, regardless of what's going on. He never complains, even though how many quarterbacks he's had in his entire career thrown to him.
6 or 7.
Yeah, it's
not good.
Way too many. Hopefully we can get DJ Moore a consistent quarterback that continues to throw dots to him.
Absolutely.
We can see what his full potential is and build that relationship.
Well, dude, look how many times Tyson Bagent targeted him. And Tyson Bagent even came out and said that, I really wish that he would have been able to fully throw that pass. And you can't go off one pass with the guy, man. One short pass, deep throw. But he even said that. He's like, hey, man, if it's one-on-one, I'm throwing it to DJ Moore because I know he'll go and get the ball. Unfortunately, it was short by like 15 yards. And the defensive back caught it, intercepted it. But I wish DJ Moore would have went up. It didn't really seem like he made much of an effort to go up there either. So I don't know what was going on with that.
I think DJ Moore deserves nothing but credit. I think DJ Moore is the reason Bears fans tune in and week out. He's so fun to watch. He's been super productive almost every week, and he's making spectacular plays. One thing that does disappoint me is we all know what Darnell Mooney can do. I don't feel like we see a lot of him. I feel like I want to see more out of Mooney.
He's been pretty quiet, Darnell Mooney.
He has the whole season, man.
And I think it was 2 years ago. Darnell Mooney was ranked 17th out of all wide receivers, and your doppelganger Dan Orlovsky said that he considered Darnell Mooney a wide receiver 3 or 4, which is kind of a disrespect considering that this was the year too that he was ranked 17th among wide receivers. So it's like, dude, there's 32 NFL teams and there's 32 number 1 wide receivers. So he was in that range of a number 1 and he was at number 2. So
I think that leads to a very serious and great question. Is it Darnell Mooney's fault, or do you think he has kind of some leniency because of the state of the Chicago Bears? We saw previously this year with the Chicago White Sox, Tim Anderson was caught saying on the base paths, "God, I wish I could effing get out of this city."
You don't know if he even said that.
Well,
for sure.
you can read the lips, and it's pretty much what he said.
I don't think that's what he said, to be honest. I watched that video back like 10 times.
Tim Anderson. Well, it looked like he said that, and you could tell he was not having fun this year.
Well,
so
that's
do
fair.
you think that bad teams like the White Sox, like the Bears, that like year in and year out, that gets into players' heads?
If you don't mind,
it
Joe,
does.
let me answer this first
Yeah.
real quick. I don't give him a pass. I think when we see what DJ Moore has done, I think you can blame DJ Moore for me not giving Mooney a pass. 2 reasons. One, obviously, even with the struggling Justin Fields and even with the whole quarterback transition we're going through, we've still seen DJ Moore produce. Why hasn't Darnell Mooney had a day like that? The same way that DJ Moore has had a day like that. And here's my second. No, here's my second thing. The only other thing I'll say is DJ Moore is clearly the X receiver in our team.
The freaking X factor.
Which means he's going to get their best corner. The best corner is going to follow him. So if Darnell Mooney doesn't even have the best corner,
he should be cooking these guys.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's my argument. That's why I don't give him a pass.
So, would you say Darnell Mooney is running like a vending machine as well?
I mean, he's been dropping off.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Oh, okay. So that's just the bum and Chase Claypool.
Was that a serious question too?
That
That was a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nick. I mean, we all saw Nick Foles literally mouth, and you could read what he said. He said that when Matt Nagy was still the coach in 2021, Nick Foles mouthed it, and everyone. It was like headlines. Everyone saw it, and he said this offense just isn't working. You could see him literally mouth that. So yeah,
just like Tim Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You could
Shit happens.
And dude, the whole thing with Darnell Mooney, man.
Look, these players are getting paid a lot of money to go out there and play their hearts out, but I kind of understand in some sort of sense where it's like, if there's no light at the end of the tunnel, it's like, I could understand why someone would be frustrated, and if you're frustrated, that's going to lead to, you're not going to be playing at your best.
Well, I think
ability.
Tyler Scott.
Like, if there's no reason, like I said, you guys are getting paid way too much money. You should go out there and give it your all, 100%. But
I think our new number 3 is outplaying Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
Tyler Scott,
Yeah.
man. You've been hearing Tyler Scott. Did you see him run up for that when against the Vikings when Tyson Bagent just threw that ball away and it was like probably no one was just like, oh, maybe he'll run up, and he ran up and caught the ball.
hey, he's a dog.
I know,
He's trying to
Tyler
prove
Scott.
himself.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's why players last in the NFL, because they're consistently trying to prove themselves. Do you think, even though Ray Lewis was an absolute Hall of Famer and an absolute veteran, I guarantee you ask Ray Lewis this question, he would say that every single day he wants to go out there and prove that he is the man every single game, day in and day out.
Absolutely.
Because he was the man, dude. He was a football guy.
But that's the thing. He was the man. Everyone knew he was the man, but he didn't have that mentality. He had that mentality that I need to be a dog this game. I need to be the top guy. And let me go after it. That's what these guys should be thinking. But,
Absolutely. And we kind of talked about Jalen.
but I think that is a stem off the coach.
Since we're talking about skill positions, I have breaking news, and then Joe, I'll turn it over.
Sure.
Breaking news. Missing persons report. Robert Tanyan, he's still. we're missing Robert Tanyan. We don't know where he's at. If you know where he's at, please give us a call. Please comment below. Tell us where
give us
he's
a
at.
call, please.
Give us a call. Comment below. Let us know where Robert Tanyan
Please.
is. Thank you.
Please.
Yeah, Mercedes Lewis made a nice catch. I saw that. Or third
That's
tight end,
right.
third string tight end.
That's right.
But anyways,
go ahead, Joe.
Jalen Johnson.
Where is Robert Tanyan?
Where is he?
Where the hell is he, Joe?
Trying to get back
He
to
was
Green-
a
trying
top.
to get back to Green Bay.
Robert Tanyan was a top 10 fantasy quarterback a year ago.
Yeah, when he had Rodgers throwing to him. All right.
Doesn't matter.
So Jalen Johnson, 2 interceptions, 1 pick six. He had 2 tackle solos, 1 tackle assist, and 2 passes defended.
You know
I just
what?
wanted to give some respect to Jalen Johnson.
I just want to say one thing on Jalen Johnson as well.
Sure.
It was pretty cool after he caught that pick six in the end zone. He was throwing money in the air like this, kind of saying like, "Hey, pay me."
I agree. He should
Yeah,
he should get paid.
Yeah, he should be.
There's some
He
kind
should
of
be.
talk about that. He deserves the money. I would say a top 10 cornerback in the league should. So I think the top 10s are getting paid $20 million plus.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he deserves $20 million, but I think he's in that 15 to 17 million range. 100%.
You know, the Bears got to stop being cheap, and when we have good players come along, I think we should try and extend them instead of just let them walk or trade them for draft picks that end up don't working out. So
I think when he's defending, like I forgot what it was, but like the quarterback's QBR drops when Jalen Johnson's actually like I forgot exactly what it is, but no, I'm just saying that he's really good at
he's really good at his job.
He's glue on the wide receivers, man. He's good at defending, and
He's got that X factor in man coverage.
and it would be a mistake to trade him. Because what are you going to get for him? A second-round pick? It's like, okay, so what are you going to do with the second round? Now we need
Probably
a cornerback.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, so we're going to get another quarterback, hope that he's just like Jalen
And
Johnson.
history will repeat itself like it always does. And
Well, they kind of did
quarterback
that.
will be
Remember
well.
Kyle Fuller, and that was we traded.
I was
Kyle
thinking the
Fuller.
same thing, Kyle Fuller.
Made
And we
Jalen
paid him, and
Johnson.
he wasn't that good, dude.
Well,
he got
was
injured.
good
He
when
got
we
injured a
traded
lot.
him, but yeah, either way, whatever.
Yeah, the Bears need to pay guys that are good.
That's really all I got on the Bears. It was more of a Tyson Bagent quarterback thing. Bears versus Chargers score prediction. What do you guys?
I haven't thought of this.
In
yet.
LA.
In LA, Chargers.
Okay,
defense
so I
is
said
not
I was
good.
gonna go first. I'll go ahead. I'll go first, so I'm not a cheater this week.
Vegas has
I
them.
just want to
Bears
say
losing
I
by
have
8.
my score in my head already. So if you guys say my score, I'm saying my score regardless.
Bears have it at
That's all I'm
Bears have
saying.
it at or Vegas has it at -8. Vikings win or not Vikings
Of
win.
course, Chargers.
Chargers win. Yeah.
Dude, I think. So here's my rationale. I think the Bears are riding high, probably higher than they ever will be riding this entire season. I just feel like it was very impressive last week. They're going into LA. The Chargers have been kind of struggling, man. Like they're in games, but
They're predicted
they're
to win
just
the Super
not
Bowl.
that great.
They're
Like the
predicted
Chargers
to-
are we can get Panky on here and he'll tell us what he's been seeing. And the Chargers have underperformed this year, flat out. They're still a respectable team, which is why I'm not going to underestimate them. Ultimately, what I'm going to say is, dude, oh man, I'm riding with the Bears. Fuck it, I'm riding with the Bears. I don't care how stupid that sounds. I think, oh man, I'm going to go
Are you a
Bears.
secret Bagent believer?
I am secret Bagent man. I'm riding with the Bears. 28 to 24.
I have the Chargers winning 31-14.
What? He still doesn't believe in Tyson Bagent. You still do not believe in that guy, do you?
Dude, he's going to be taking the shot for sure. Go ahead.
Dude, I thought you were going to go more conservative. That was like the total opposite. That's crazy, dude.
We'll
Anyways,
see, dude.
so
I
I
could
have
be crazy when I'm not the one taking the shot.
I have the Bears winning 24-21. I really believe that Tyson Bagent throws either 2 touchdown passes. I'm thinking 2 touchdown passes he throws, and then one of the running backs runs it in for a touchdown.
Well, ladies and
and then a
gentlemen,
field goal.
shout out to Heath Ledger, rest in peace. We know who's going to be fighting for that shot next week. So,
In all honesty, I'm
I'm sorry,
feel
Brandon.
great,
Even though my score was a little lopsided, I'm the only one who chose the Chargers. So I'm not going to lose regardless. I could have said 72 to freaking
Hey.
4, and I still would have won.
Hey, you know this is a Chicago sports podcast.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm being truthful.
And you're shitting on the Bears.
I'm being truthful. Obviously, the Bears are one of the worst teams in football. I don't care.
Joe, you're gonna take that? He's talking about Bagent like that?
You know, it's fine.
I'm not talking about Bayesian. I'm just talking about the team
No,
in general.
I would rather have you tell me your honest opinion, like who you think's going to win, than lie and say that you're pretending to be a Bears fan and a Bagent
Yeah.
believer. So I mean, it's
I have
cool.
no reason to believe in the Bears. I mean, absolutely none.
You said the same thing when they against the Raiders.
You know what? I think my prediction was bold, but fuck it, man. We'll see. If I'm right,
if you're
Even
right,
more
if
impressive.
you'll look like a genius.
that's right.
But if you're not right, you're gonna look
What am I gonna look like?
not good, man.
He's
Not
not.
good, man.
He doesn't
Not
believe in the
good.
Good Shepherd. Doesn't believe in the Good Shepherd.
He doesn't.
Secret Bayesian man.
No, you can't sing that song anymore, man.
Nope.
You don't believe in him. You just said he's only going to score 14 points.
Dude, I mean, the Chargers have been in most of their games. They were in it until the last minute.
You know, don't
with
forget.
the Kansas City Chiefs. You really think the Bears are going to put up
Don't
a
forget.
fight like that
I
against
think
the
Joe.
freaking Chargers?
I think Joe knows best, but Mike Williams not being on the team hurts, dude. It really does. hurt them.
Our offensive line
They have Keenan Allen. Who else?
is
I mean,
not
they got
that
Eckler.
good. Our offensive line is not that good, and they got guys like Mack, who's healthy, and Bosa.
Wait, so we Darnell Wright held Max Crosby to his own.
I'm not okay, but okay. What about the guy blocking Bosa? Huh?
Dude, listen. The Bears, all things equal, the Bears, like the whole team is gonna come out fucking fired up to play for Bagent. Like I think even the Bears players, you could tell after last week, like they want this. They want to be successful no matter what, and they're gonna come out, dude. Darnell Wright's gonna be fucking slanging and banging, dude.
Hanging out of the
That's right, exactly.
He was a first round pick. But
Cody
so-
Whitehair, dude. His hairs are gonna be sticking up, dude. That's how good he's gonna be.
He's going to
Like,
grow actual white hair. So,
Yeah, exactly.
If Tyson Bagent lights up the Chargers, would you still not be convinced?
No, I mean, and let's not be stupid here. If Bagent lights up the Chargers, I mean, I would 100% that'd be a foot in the right direction or a big step in the right direction.
Do you think that they should start Fields next week if Bagent lights up the chart? Like,
No.
plays out of his mind.
There's not a single Bears fan out there that believes Justin Fields should be starting anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Especially-
if you do believe Justin Fields should be starting, well, I don't know what rock you've been sleeping on these past couple of years, but
I'm glad that you
Yeah.
are looking through the window
Yeah.
and seeing the clear picture,
Yeah.
and it's not foggy anymore.
I mean, seriously,
because after those stats that I just presented to you,
seriously, do you
with
think
Justin
there's
Fields,
fans out there that still are saying
there is man,
Justin
there is
Fields
some-
is our guy?
There is some that still.
Well, if
believe
you
in
do think that way, stop thinking that way. Do better. Do better.
that. All right, and that's all I got for the Bears.
Well, that was a very good segment on the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that.
Mm-hmm.
Some relevant
Want to get our
topics
other
and
beer?
discussion
Yeah.
over the Chicago Cubs real quick. It's not going to be a big one. I want to start off by saying some encouraging news from the man himself, Jed Hoyer. Jed Hoyer said, and I quote, "It's nice to know that we have that group, that core group of guys. I know exactly what they believe in. We have real organizational momentum. I think it's really important to continue to build on that. We'll get right back to work after the World Series." So that's exciting news for a Cubs fan. That means, who knows, maybe they will be spending money this offseason, like other reports that I've read. Obviously, with Brandon Woodruff going down on the Milwaukee Brewers, the Cubs should really capitalize on this offseason because there's some good talent out there. And another interesting thing to bring up, and I think you guys might enjoy this because you don't really hear this too often. There's an article on Cubs.com. You can go over there and check it out. Supposedly, Dansby Swanson will be joining Jed Hoyer, Carter Hawkins, and all the rest of them in plans this offseason and who to bring into Chicago. So Dansby Swanson supposedly will have a say in this. He was our prize free agent, so why not try and make him as happy as can be? So that's interesting how that's going to work out. So we're going from encouraging news to not so and not good news, really. Obviously, last week the Cubs fired 2 coaches, Craig Driver and honestly forgot the other one, but not that big of a deal. But this week we lost our beloved Craig Breslow, our assistant GM to the Boston Red Sox. Craig Breslow did a wonderful job for the Cubs, and it's sad that the Boston Red Sox took him away from us. But stay tuned to see who the Cubs replaced that position with. Craig Breslow, I'm not a fan of the Red Sox, but I am a fan of you. So good luck in Boston. I'm sure you'll do a wonderful job for them. Another big market team with a lot of money to spend. That'll be good. A couple more things here. Nico Horner, Ian Happ, and Dansby Swanson are finalists for Gold Gloves.
Nice.
That was expected. Dansby Swanson is 100% winning the Gold Glove. There's no argument there. Nico Horner should win the Gold Glove. So I'm pretty confident that those 2 will. Ian Happ, stay tuned to see what happens with that. But that's just great for the team. Anytime you have a Gold Glove in the outfield, infield, or whatever, is always a good move. It helps the pitchers out. And to say that the Cubs have had multiple on the diamond this year really speaks dividends. That just means a lot of pitchers are going to want to play for Chicago. Simple as that. Defense wins championships. It also brings in big-time free agents like Blake Snell and Aaron Nola. Let's see what happens. And the most important note that I had, the last one for the Cubs, breaking news, the Cubs are expected to heavily target left-handed reliever Yuki Matsui, who's a Japanese phenom relief pitcher.
Is that Hideki Matsui's son by chance?
I'm not sure. I'm not too
I
sure.
would look into that.
Possibly. We'll see. But Matsui has been the best relief pitcher in Japan for a while now. He's left-handed, so he brings some a different. He brings a different sort of look to the bullpen. You need that left-handed guy, and if your closer's lefty, it really helps out. So there's no question that he would address a major need for the Cubs. Our bullpen kind of collapsed at the end of the year. If we could have a stud like him, that'd be wonderful. And he's only 27, so he's entering his prime year. So let's hope the Cubs could get him. Obviously, if the price is right, they got to pay the posting fee, which Suzuki, they paid like $15 million, which made it a 5-year, $100 million contract instead of a 5-year, $85. So
He kind of struggled too, didn't he?
but he came into his own. After that benching, basically management told Seiya Suzuki that you're being too patient at the plate. Stop trying to draw walks and go after the first pitch.
Hey,
Yeah, we can't forget that he
bro,
did
literally
drop-
costed the Cubs their season, dude. Let's
Yeah.
relax.
All right. But okay. Yes, that was a disappointing thing that we watched, and we have it on video. Actually, it's funny.
live reaction.
Go White Sox, baby.
Yeah, very
Go
disappointing.
White Sox, baby.
But you could also make the argument that if the Cubs didn't have Seiya Suzuki's bat, we wouldn't have even been in the playoffs, or we still would not. Seiya Suzuki easily was a top 10 hitter in baseball for 2 months. That's how good he did for us. And it was all because David Ross benched him, and hats off to David Ross for doing that. I like when managers step up and do that kind of crap. And they basically went over his game plan, his approach to the plate. They said, hey, instead of being patient and trying to draw walks, why don't and this is just facts. You could debate me on this, and I'll argue to the death. The first pitch you see is probably the best pitch that you're going to see the entire at bat. So that's why a lot of good players swing at the first pitch, because it's important to set up the plate appearance with the first pitch strike. So it makes sense. Sometimes that's the only hittable pitch that you're going to see that entire at bat, and if you're not aggressive enough, you're going to miss it, and we all know what happens from there. But hopefully he could continue that next season. But that's all I have for the Cubs.
Do you know?
You guys have any questions?
No. So do you know what the percentage is of dropping a fly ball or a pop fly? Fly ball or pop? What's like the percentage that a professional?
Probably like 99.8, dude.
That they
Something
don't.
crazy.
Yeah,
So is it
doesn't
under
happen.
like during an important game? You think that puts more pressure on someone? Did probably the nerves kick in and probably the chances go up a little bit?
I don't
would you
think
say?
so. I think it's just total fluke.
That was a
Yeah.
fluke.
It's just a total fluke. Like,
So you're saying probably 98% of the time they do not drop those. At least.
probably higher.
More
So,
than- way
so
more.
Suzuki
Yeah,
dropping
probably
that was like a 2% or less chance, probably.
Like
less than half a percent.
Less than half. Yeah, legitimate.
So crazy.
You know, and
Oh my God.
like
That was a
seriously,
hang- that was a
like
pop fly, man.
these shortstops, these outfielders, you know, these catchers. Think about all the reps that they get in their field. You know, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands. So that it kind of just becomes like second nature to them. Oh, fly ball, blah blah blah. You know, so for him to drop something like that was
I'm looking it
Yeah,
up on
there's no way.
MLB.com right now. See what they
no, and
actually.
that just happened.
considered.
Maybe
This is in
Andrew?
2017.
I do not have too many questions. Very, very great segment with
Yeah.
the Cubbies, keeping us all informed during the off season here. Something we wanted to discuss. Can you guys believe it? Philadelphia Phillies knocked out of the playoffs. Houston Astros knocked out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Even last week, we both predicted both of those teams being the favorites moving on.
And I'm happy you brought this up
Yeah.
because this is, I believe I heard this watching the Astros and Texas game, that if Arizona eliminates the Phillies, which they did, and Texas eliminates Houston, which they did, that'd be the first time in Major League Baseball history that two teams on the road down Game 6 and 7 in the championship series both came back and won the series. So we don't see this too often, that's for sure. It was very fun to watch. And hats off to Arizona. You know, I brought them up earlier in the podcast. Who would have thought that they would have been here? I mean,
A couple pointers, a couple notes would be first regarding the Texas Rangers Astros series. Very unbelievable circumstance.
Garcia, dude.
This
Oh
is
my
only
God.
so statistically in MLB. This is only the second time in MLB history that the road team won all 7 games of the series. So within that Rangers Astros series, the road team won every single game. Not one game was won at home. It's pretty crazy.
Maybe that's
Like,
what I was trying to say.
If you want to talk about debunking like home
Maybe
field advantage,
that's what I was
if
trying
you
to
want
say.
to talk about debunking home field advantage, this will do it right here. It's wild. I also will say that when you look at the Arizona Diamondbacks, and almost the same could have been said about the Rangers, to be honest. But when you look at the Diamondbacks, in 2021, they lost 110 games that season. And now, 2 years later, we're looking at them being in the World Series as a potential World Series winner. So, shout out to them. I mean, Corbin Carroll, one of the youngest teams in baseball, playing their hearts out. This, for me, the only other thing that I have to say or comment on this is that this could not have been a better way to end the baseball season. I didn't want to see the Phillies. I didn't want to see the Astros. I wanted to see new teams, young teams, exciting teams. And that's what we're going to see. So I am looking forward to watching this World Series, and this is the first time in a long time that I can genuinely say that.
I'm going to really, really enjoy saying this right now. And I just have to soak this in for a second. Shout out to the St. Louis Cardinals, complete sarcasm, for trading away Adolis Garcia, who had 6 homers in 5 games. In 5 games. And
It's averaging more than 1 in a game.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure they didn't really even get that much in return. So it's always nice to see, you know, a franchise like the Cardinals making the wrong decisions. I'll always appreciate that.
I have to say though,
Yeah.
I think Zach Wheeler has genuinely, and he pretty much was, but we got to give Zach Wheeler credit. I think he has pushed himself into like top echelon starting pitcher in the league. What he did in the what he did in the NLCS series, pitched 2 phenomenal games, came in last night, in his appearance in relief, his first relief appearance ever. He absolutely shut down the Diamondbacks. They still obviously lost because they didn't have the lead at the time of him coming in. But I think Zach Wheeler, and it's upsetting because the White Sox truly pursued Zach Wheeler pretty hard a couple of years ago. But Zach Wheeler, we got to put respect on his name too.
Yeah, and the Mets gave him away for nothing. Kind of just like how the Cubs gave away Kyle Schwarber for nothing. We didn't even get a compensation pick for Kyle Schwarber.
He's been playing good, man.
And
Yeah,
Kyle
he
Schwarber
really
is on a different planet. You know, imagine if the Cubs had Kyle Schwarber this year. Think about how good our offense.
Now,
Oh my
question:
God,
did the
dude.
Cubbies,
They're
when
rebuilding.
Schwarber was with the Cubbies, was the exclusive DH rolled out yet? I don't believe so.
Yeah, so he left before the DH.
That would
was
have
there. Yeah.
potentially would have been a game changer.
He wasn't terrible, though, was he in the outfield?
He
mean,
was
wasn't-
terrible.
No,
Was he
I mean
that
Kyle
bad?
Schwarber is fucking dog shit.
Was he that bad in the
Yes,
outfield?
he's
Do you,
that
see,
bad.
do you remember
Well,
what
he used to
Suzuki
catch,
did?
too. How was he as a catcher? Bad, too.
Dude, there's a reason why he doesn't catch.
Yeah.
He's just a strict DH. That's what he is. He shouldn't be touching a fucking baseball. He should be touching a baseball bat. He's incompetent when it comes to fielding a ball. You know, he makes stupid decisions. He's dumb. He's stupid. He has rocks in his brain. The only thing he can do is hit a fastball and strike out.
Moving on then. Moving on. Do you guys have anything else, or are we done?
Yeah, I mean, just the beer.
Yeah,
Oh,
just,
yeah, the
Kyle Schwarber's
A piece of shit.
freaking idiot, honestly. But yeah, beer time.
Beer time.
All right,
Moron.
we are drinking a beer from Energy City Brewing. And our Brandon is showing the display of the can. Nothing too fancy about it at all. So it's made here in Illinois, in Batavia, Illinois. That's where the brewing company is located. The name of the beer is a Bistro Grape PB&J. 6.5% alcohol.
Sorry, Joe. I
Bert-
was just laughing about my commentary on fucking Kyle Schwarber.
So Berliner.
Kyle Schwarber, you did not deserve that. I'm sorry, man.
I know, I was a little harsh.
Yeah.
Berliner Weiss.
Rizzo does, though.
So the type of beer is a Berliner Weiss with peanut butter and grape jelly added for fermentation. Or they just added it for fermentation. After fermentation. Jeez, I cannot speak. So they added the peanut butter and grape jelly after fermentation. So this Bistro PB&J is fresh and authentic. With over 150,000 Concord grapes used, this brew is sure to bring back memories of the flavor packed in your school lunchbox. That is what the description is online of it. So I've had beers similar to this before. I've had a stout that was a PB&J. The stout version, was not crazy about. This, it's a Weiss, so it's like more of a wheat beer or like an ale. If I had to rate this beer on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate it an 8. I think it's a pretty solid beer. So let me finish by saying this. This is not a beer that you could drink, like, go to a party, like, and drink, like, 10 of. This is like a 2 beer, because there's so much sugar in it, and that's it. But it's like a good sipping beer to drink 1 to 2 of. And it's, it's a good solid beer.
Well,
Yeah.
That was a great review, Joe. Honestly, this beer blew my fucking socks off.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't an IPA, sorry.
Yeah, no, it truly was that good. It kind of brought back memories of, you're outside.
Full lunchbox.
Yeah, exactly.
like,
I was going
yeah.
to say, what are you quoting the...
Oh, no, exactly.
Yeah.
And just like what Joe said, you're outside playing with your buddies, and your mom screams out the window, "Hey boys, PB&J's ready."
I got the crustless.
And then you go running
Without the
in,
crust,
and
without
then-
the crust.
because everyone knows that food is better when you don't cook it yourself. So that's kind of how
Absolutely.
that's kind of what I got from this beer. I felt as if like I was a child again. My mother made me a good sandwich after I was running around all day. I'm going with a solid 9.3. I absolutely fucking loved
I'm
it.
glad you liked it.
Absolutely
It's my
loved
second
it.
one.
And I'm going to add on to this and say,
That's a fun rating.
dude, how awesome would it be to not only drink this wonderful beer in the night, but also be taking shots of Screwball? Tell me that wouldn't be a good mix.
That's interesting.
Tell me that wouldn't be a good
So
mix.
Screwball
Now,
peanut butter whiskey. But yeah,
Since
that
we're
would
talking
be-
about
would
mixing
be good.
things, what goes good with a peanut butter and jelly?
A glass of milk.
Right.
So a stout, you're saying?
What if you pour?
A milk chocolate stout.
You know, it's a joke. That would be disgusting.
Yeah, no,
that would be. That's nasty.
So like
no,
I
but
said,
seriously-
I did drink the stout version and it wasn't.
No, but
wasn't
seriously,
good.
I think Screwball, like, you know, if you are having a night to where you're like, oh, I want to get fucking blitzed
Andrew,
tonight.
I have a serious question for you.
Yeah.
What in your opinion is more elite? A crustless, mama-made peanut butter and jelly, or sun is scorching, summer, June, July evening. You've been swimming all day. You get out of the pool and you have a ham and cheese with Dorito chips smacked in between,
With the Coca-Cola.
with the Coca-Cola waiting for you. Mama made as well.
Mama made as well.
Yep.
So, you know, that's a very good question.
But
I really
but
respect
your
that
mom
question.
wiped your
Quite frankly,
her butt with the ham one.
we're just gonna act like that was never said. But in all seriousness, for how much I would appreciate my mom to, you know, to pour out those crispy Doritos, to lay that ham on that nice white
this
bread
is getting
with
weird.
that mayonnaise and lettuce. I love PB&J's, one of my favorite foods on the planet. If I was on death row, I probably would ask for, you know, some nice wheat bread and some PB&J and just
Hey,
kill the entire thing.
Hey,
so,
we
yeah.
get it, bro.
Yeah.
You can't handle your malort. We fucking get it, buddy. Anyways,
I guess not.
my rating, Andrew, good rating. Joe, good rating. Joe, specifically you, I feel like you are like the beer guy.
Yeah, but I give it a 9.3.
No.
I gotta hype it the fuck
No,
up.
that's a
dude.
good ass fucking rating. I'm just saying, Joe
Yeah.
for me is like the fucking
Why are you getting so
the
defensive?
beer
You just fucking called me, you know.
the beer master. So I'm like, wow, an 8 for Joe is a really good rating. A 9.3, that's a solid rating. I agree, dude. It was a really good beer. The first sip was incredible.
Yeah, you should have seen Brandon's face.
Yeah,
You
my
should've had that
reaction
on
my
video.
reaction was
He looked at me. He's like, it was like a reaction that it was either going to be good or bad, but it was
Yeah.
good.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
No,
I
he-
remember I specifically was like, whoa!
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
hey,
you're-
hey, he was actually going crazy.
Yeah, you should have seen him
Behind the scenes, I was going fucking nuts.
He was going crazy.
banging his head on
behind
the
scenes,
fucking table.
It just, I could not fucking control myself for the life of me. It was that good.
Fucking moron, dude.
I'll honestly, I'm gonna give this an 8.3. An 8.3 is the rating. I'll give it.
Nice.
It was very good. But I think what Joe said also, not to copyright you, but I think it's one and done. I'm never gonna have more than one of those in any setting. It's a dessert beer. You have it because you enjoy the taste of it, and you stop after one, and you fucking go night night or something.
Yeah.
So
This is my second one, and it's kind of like holy sugar.
Dude,
But,
this guy was going nuts off camera. I wish we would have recorded it, dude.
Yeah. Off
honestly,
the
I was
wall.
losing my shit. I was
Yeah.
Uh,
We actually had to like restrain him down at the floor. And
Dude, maybe
calm him down.
I'm actually drunk. I don't know. I'm very laughy right now.
Well, that Malort's
Yeah.
dude, it gets to you, man. That one time when I had to do 2 shots of it, I was like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
There's evidence. I was kind of like buzzed. I definitely was buzzed on the podcast, and I was like, man.
I have a tiny
it's getting
buzz
to
from
me.
this fucking beer.
Dude, it's
This
nice.
thing's
Oh,
pretty
hey,
strong.
whoa.
How is that one?
Rules are, you drink a beer, you fucking review it. You got to review that one too.
I'll
Yeah.
review it.
Yeah.
Andrew just wants to do that because he doesn't want to ever see that beer back here again.
Yeah, it's all right. First and foremost, I'm gonna get up and show you guys.
So
All
it's made
right.
by Pipeworks too, right?
Sweetwater Brewing Company, actually. Gummies, tropical, IPA, of course. The big kicker on this beer is that, well, first of all, it's an IPA, which none of us on this panel are huge IPA guys.
Andrew's becoming.
I'm actually
Yeah,
starting
becoming-
to like them a lot more.
Okay.
But
You're
They're
fucking
real
psychopath.
popular. They're probably the most popular beer IPAs, but I'm not a fan of them.
9.5%. It's strong. It has a refreshing taste. Like, it does have like a candy-esque aftertaste to it, but ultimately it's a little too dense for me. It's kind of strong. I'm gonna. Fuck's so funny.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm not freaking out about this one. I'll tell you that much. It's not horrible. It's drinkable. It's enjoyable, but it's not amazing by any means. I'm gonna give it It's a 9.5% alcohol volume. I'm going to give it a 5.9 on the Richter scale, baby. We're going opposite. I think 5.9 is pretty accurate.
I feel like that's pretty good for like a strong IPA. I feel like and that's a pretty good review. I mean,
Yeah, because it's not horrible.
Look,
It's a good.
I
5.9 is good.
did have this beer. You know, probably like 3 weeks ago. I don't remember it that well, so I'm not going to view it. But I think that was pretty accurate. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was kind of like right in the middle.
Yep.
All right.
That concludes our beer segment.
That includes our podcast.
That concludes our podcast.
Yeah, not a lot on the Hawks and the Bulls.
Yeah, you know, next week we'll make sure to have a segment for you guys.
It's been a
covering
busy
the Bulls
week.
and Hawks.
We'll get to it.
The
It's
Bulls
been a
play
busy
tonight, though, so hopefully they win their first live game out of the preseason. So
Awesome. And go Bulls, go Blackhawks, go Bears.
we like we've talked about before, we upload a video pretty much every Thursday night or sometime Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's always recorded the day before, uploaded the next day. So I mean, we all have lives, we all have jobs here.
And actually, you guys should let us know if you want us to do, you know, a live segment to where we could cover the Bears games for you guys, and you guys give us feedback. That sounds pretty fun. So if you guys are interested in that, please let us know.
Another thing.
That would be kind of cool to do.
I would.
Another thing, we are super open to having guests on, whether it be via Skype. You know, if we know you,
Yeah.
you know, if we want, you know, whatever, we can have you, you know, on site. Comment below if you're interested.
Yes.
Um,
That's a good point.
Reach out to us. A lot of you guys, you know, we know you on a personal level, so reach out to us personally, whatever you want to do. But
And even if we don't know, you personally, you know, and you know, I'm sure we could work out a phone call, a Zoom call, something like that.
100%, 100%.
And that would be cool.
We love fan interaction.
Yes. And make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed our podcast today. We really deeply, you know, thank you guys for everything. And yeah.
Take care.
Chicago Brute Sports out.